noting that we're going through the worst drought in 43 years. Government put in place a drought mitigation strategy. In fact, we started with search and rescue, mitigation, and resilience building. And in terms of rural communities, we identified that of the 5.7 million cattle, 2.7 million cattle will be at risk. So the focus is on availing water, is on availing feed, but also ensuring that because deep tanks will have run out of water, that we establish disease management centers for livestock, and also because there are many among us who view drought as an opportunity to profiteer, that they will be able to offtake the cattle at very reduced prices. We then banned the sale of livestock at households and villages, and that this be done at these drought mitigation centers, as we call them. With 1,620 rural wards, 1,035 of these are in regions 4 and 5. And we say these are the wards that we will prioritize in terms of drilling bores with the 31 drilling rigs that the government has, and we also have summoned the private sector to be able to assist. To date, we've covered 418 wards, and we just received resources from Treasury last week to be able to do an identified number of 635 additional wards that will establish drought mitigation centers. So this is the effort that the government is making. We know that the livestock eventually succumb, not because of feed, but largely because of the water issue and the distances that they have to trek in order to find water. We have also mobilized as government 15,000 metric tons of silage, and we have 8 dedicated 30-tonner trucks that are distributing feed to the most needy wards. We've also launched an educational awareness for rural communities so that they can formulate feed at a local level using locally available resources, including manjekenje. So that is what we've done as government. And the week before last, we also now put in place a statutory instrument in terms of the Fertilizers, Farm Feeds and Remedies Act of 1972 to ensure that the wheat that is being harvested, the stover, was declared feed. So those farmers that are doing wheat will see the business in baling and availing that stover nearer to communities. We'll also urge the communities to complement government efforts because the cattle belong to them, by mobilizing resources at the local level so that they can expedite the transportation of the available feed, because the 8 30-tonner trucks are certainly not adequate to be able to move feed to all the needy wards. Having said that, we are currently looking at possibilities of using rail to move feed, just like we are using rail to move food from surplus depots to deficit depots. So this is what we are doing as government, and to date we've managed to save just over 100,000 cattle from death as a result of this robust whole-of-government approach and intervention in rural communities. Sadly, we've lost 4,207 cattle due to drought. Any death is unacceptable, and communities and government must do more to save our livestock. The rains will shortly be upon us throughout the country, and we expect a normal to above normal rain season from November. So the critical period remains as the next 3 weeks. Thank you, Chairman.